God will do. That's what he said. How many of you know that? Some Kleenex, please. It's tears. Tears of joy.
Hallelujah.
Tears of happiness. Tears of confirmation. Because we know that God can do all things.
Yes, yes.
So first I want to thank everybody for the opportunity to be here today. I had to take my shoes off. Not because my feet hurt, because I need y'all to be focused on one thing and one thing only. Change what the Word of God has to say to you today. This isn't about what we look like. It's not about what we have. Get rid of your perceptions and your thoughts. Come here with an open mind, and I want to motivate you past the parking lot. Ain't no point of shouting and getting to the parking lot or getting home, and your life still looks the same. To Michelle, thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me here today. I've been in places with hundreds of thousands of people, and I promise you I've never felt the anointing like I have here. As I sat here, the Lord laid it on my heart. This is the 3rd year, and it'll be 30 more.
Amen.
But I need you to understand I'm going to sow a seed into this. I want to make sure that if people can't afford to come, we'll pay for them.
Yes.
People can have and feel this very thing.
Yes. Yes.
See, we keep talking about things. I was just having this conversation about, we're turning people away from the Word of God. They don't want to come to churches. There's a report of statistics out there that churches are shutting down. I believe there's 17 in Philadelphia alone that just shut down. Because people aren't coming. They're not giving. And if I don't see anything different in the church than I do on the street, I might as well take my chances in the street. I heard someone say signs and wonders. There are plenty of them that are being shown today. I promise you. The Lord says he's going to come like a thief in the night. If he busts those clouds, sky, whatever you want to call it open, and you found laying in some other man's bed or woman.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
If you're dealing with somebody else's situation that ain't yours, whatever it is. If you're in the club thinking you're going to get by, he ain't coming for you there either.
That's right.
It's time out. And it's not about judgment. We've all got some mess in our lives. Some of us just know how to make it look a little better. We know how to spray a little more perfume, put a little bit more lip gloss, fix our hair up a little bit better. But truth be told, you pull all that off, we're all stained. So my task and assignment from Michelle, and Michelle to put a number with that, I'm going to start off with $1,000. But as God says that we need more, we'll have it. In Jesus' name. My sisters in here said,
Go ahead on.
I believe it was April. We got souls out here we ain't saved.
Hallelujah.
There's people going to hell. And I just had this conversation. I said, I don't want to stand before God. And he said, you know what? I gave you a gift and a talent. You spent all your time, your effort, and energy on you. Yeah, you might be saved. Because we know once saved, always saved. But at the end of the day, we have responsibility. We have responsibility. We have responsibility as leaders and as women. Just because you're not on a microphone or you're not on a platform or you're not singing a song doesn't mean that you don't have a purpose. We keep talking about success. Success doesn't always equate to dollar.
Yes.
Success is how you measure it.
Go ahead.
Okay? That's how it's measured. It's not about the money. It ain't meant for every one of us to have long zeros in the bank because we kill ourselves. We wouldn't even get close to God because we'd be so caught up. How many of y'all in here got kids? Think about it from this perspective. Would you give a kid that was 5 years old keys? No, you would not. because they would kill themselves or somebody else. God loves us so much that sometimes the very thing we're asking him for, he knows it'll take us to hell.
Amen.
And we're not even smart enough to know it.
Amen.
So he doesn't give it to us. It's not because he doesn't have something for you. He doesn't have that for you.
Right.
There were some things my sister said about being a woman at the well. Been there and done that. I think Pastor Price mentioned something about being a hustler. That's how I spell my name. They'd be like, how you spell your name? Hustler. I heard somebody mention obedience. Everything I own. I don't care. I can name the cars, the house, all that stuff. Everything I own is only because of obedience. I know that if I use my money, whatever people think I look like, my stuff, if I love the gift more than the giver,
All right.
everything I own will vanish. I know that. It's not because I'm operating in fear and feeling like these things hold me, I'm bound by them. It's not that. But see, God knows how to dress us up to get us prepared for the people out there. That we have to kick doors open. We can't say or think or feel like everybody's saved. I sit at the table with demons all day long. That's my job. But my job is to influence them, not for them to influence me. Sometimes you can't sit at the table unless you look like them. So God knows what I have to look like. I don't look like what I look like or have what I have because it has anything to do with me. It has everything to do with my purpose. You know, there's a scripture in the Bible that says in Psalms 23, he prepares a table before my enemies. In Terri terms, preparing a table before my enemies means that I have to have them. Because if he says he's going to prepare a table before my enemies, i.e. haters, you have to have them. So y'all wondering why people talking about you, backbiting, want to sleep with your man, want to talk about your kids, placing judgment on your life. They're supposed to. All you got to do is be available for God to turn your situation so he can be glorified, so he can prepare the table in front of us. If he ain't prepared the table, that's your fault. So, I don't want to get too detoured, but what I want to let you all know is that, again, my subject is supposed to be about turning your pain into your purpose. God gave me a different title. It's called Detoured on Purpose.
All right.
So I'm going to start off with a bit of a pop quiz. I'm sure everyone in here is going to get an A. When was the last time someone hurt you? You don't have to say it out loud. Yeah, probably that text message I've been reading in between. I've been there. When was the last time someone spoke to you in a way that you felt like you didn't even deserve? When was the last time someone treated you disrespectfully? What happens when your life, you've been working and doing all these things that you've been doing? You know, we try to give the best to our kids. If you're anything like me, I tried to make sure my kids didn't have my kind of life. What happens when you put and save and have this trajectory for your children and they don't turn out the way that you thought they should? What does it mean if you don't have family support? See, Robin, you blessed, you have a mom. I'm a product of a pimp and a prostitute. I've been raising myself so long, I've been an adult so long that I don't know how to be a kid. And I had to learn how to be a mother. What does it mean if you never knew your dad? Your mom couldn't nurture you. Your sister really couldn't be happy for you. Your family didn't know how to support you. The church you attended overlooked you. And life, life, it didn't like you too much either. What about that job that you worked at for a long time, but they chose somebody else with less mental ability, but knew how to use everything else in their life? What happened? What happens when You have to go before God and you talk to him about all these things, Lord, that you have allowed me to be here. I didn't ask to be born into this world. I didn't say, please, send me down. Especially to these two parents. I didn't get that option. I didn't pick my mother. I didn't pick my father. I didn't ask for a kingpin dad who would prostitute my mother. Is my father really my father? I was the oldest. My parents, they had everything you could imagine. From San Francisco Bay Area, my father ran every corner he could from one end of the state to the other. He wasn't a corner boy. He sent everybody to the corners. Okay? So that took him being in charge. And he controlled my mother by physical abuse, right? Putting her out on the streets. And where did she come from? She came from family that dealt with drugs. A mother who was on drugs. She was looking and searching for love and knocked on my father's door, and he was there to answer the call. But his kind of love he gave wasn't the right one. But because of her empty and brokenness, she accepted it. And she fell in the very, very, very trap that many of us do. She accepted and tolerated everything that she should have never accepted and settled. And that's not to completely put her or him down. She had a responsibility for her life as well. And my father, you know, he would roll from being the kingpin, from trying his own product to become the drug addict, and would introduce it to my mother so that he didn't have to get high on his own, because it's pretty boring being in sin all by yourself. See, none of y'all in here don't know nothing about that, I'm sure. You know, you're not the girlfriend that called up, you know, and said, hey, let's go out. Let's go find that dude. You got any friends? That wasn't none of y'all, I'm sure. I'm about to be 40 this year. 3 times in my life, the enemy has tried to take me out of here. At 3 years old, I drowned. At 17 years old, I was in a head-on car accident. Passenger. At 27 years old, I had a stroke. I'd done everything that I felt like I needed to do. My story's a little mix of Job and Jonah. Everything. Supposedly. At 15, I left home. You know why? Because my mother couldn't raise me. She was too busy trying to be somebody else's woman. Whatever man rotated throughout that door for that day. I wrapped my legs around my mother at night and used to beg her, please don't go crawl out the window. And she would just rock back and forth and said, let me just get one more. Let me just get one more hit. I left home and the world printed, she's smart. She went to college at 15. But they didn't know I was motivated to get out of my situation. It had nothing to do with my smartness. That was infinite wisdom. And God guiding me, I just didn't see it then. By the time I was 17, there was another 17-year-old pregnant. See, I think she left. I was pregnant. In college, but pregnant. Bringing another child into the world. And I did say another. Because the first time I had had an abortion. See, we don't talk about that either. Truth be told, there's a lot of kids, if you make it to heaven, they're going to be like, hey, Mom. You don't know me. We're lying, y'all.
Go ahead.
We live in fake lives. With weaves and hairdos and fingernails and high heels and cars and all kind of things that make us look like something.
Go ahead.
Or we gotta get naked. We gotta strip down to the core of who we are. See, God can't use you until He breaks you. It's a purpose. He needs you to be in a position of need for Him. Him first. See, all this extra stuff is exactly what it is, extra. Y'all trying to attract the right man. Let me explain something to you. God will send you the right man. See, I'm not a bozo, so I know what my Boaz looks like. It's time out. It's time out. We are so broken and bitter and still passing it around. I don't care how much you sing in the church. If you know how to do a tambourine, you can dance. I can't do no spiritual dance. I'll tap a foot. Whatever. But at the end of the day, let me explain something to you. If you're doing all of that, and there is no fruit in your life, it's a reflection of the relationship you have with God. That's exactly what it is. It's a reflection. Because God said he's going to give it to us more abundantly. He came for what? We are a royal priesthood. And that doesn't mean because if you get wake and welfare, been there too, today, doesn't mean that it won't change tomorrow. But it should be a change. But if it's not a change, I don't know what God or whoever you're serving, but my God, he shall supply all my needs. Not based upon my past, not based upon my lineage. He shall supply all my needs. Every one of them. And he has. So I'm going to actually turn to the scripture, detoured for a second. Romans 8:28.
Yes.
And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. In layman's terms, all the things that look like trials that have been set up to set you back, that was meant for your harm, is going to catapult you to your How many of y'all know about pain? Let me tell you what pain is. It's an anesthetic, truth be told. What pain is meant to do is not meant to break you down and keep you broken. It's meant to pull you closer to God. You can't talk to people about nothing you ain't been through. I love Toni Braxton. She cool like that. We both have autistic children. But Toni, you filed bankruptcy, and now instead of 5 chefs, you got 2. Instead of 5 houses, you got 1. Still worth $3 million, but you don't know what it's like to struggle with raising a child on your own. You don't have to deal with the financial burdens that are associated with it. Not that you don't have problems, they're just different. You can't get out and stand in front of mothers and minister to them about nothing you ain't been through.
Amen.
If you don't know what it's like to be a hoe, how can you talk about it? If you don't know what it's like to be without and be hungry, how can you talk about it? How can you empathize with somebody about something you ain't been through? If your life ain't never been cut out, don't be standing up in front of stage talking about something you ain't never been through. Don't read something and explain it to me. I need you to feel it. I need you to have empathy and understand where I'm coming from. If you don't know what it's like to lay up on a table and have an abortion because you had no business having sex anyway, don't talk about it. You don't know what it's like to bury a child like I did? Don't talk about it. If you don't know what it's like to not have parents to love and support you through processes, trials, and tribulations, you can't talk about it. It's different when you've experienced it. So I began to learn and understand why God allowed me to go through so much. And instead of spending so much time on my problems and pain and giving it so much energy and focus, I began to turn that focus to Christ. And I started looking at him different. And he led me to different areas of his word. One of my favorite scriptures is Jeremiah 29, where he says, "For I know the plans I have for you." Then I looked at Jesus' lineage. Everything he came from was broken and messed up. Liars, killers, murderers, thieves. And you know what? When I saw that, I started praising God at that time. I said, "Oh, Lord, I came to the worst lineage ever. I got purpose." That's a feeling for me. Yeah, my father was a pimp. Yeah, he was a kingpin. Yeah, my mother was a prostitute. Oh, yes, God. And because of what your word said, that's why somebody said, read your word. His word. It wasn't even that the word of God, something specific spoke to me. It was the fact that I read his lineage was messed up.
Yes.
But everybody who was messed up, God turned into something. He turned nothing 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 into something. Nothing into something. I'm nothing. I'm nothing, God, without you. I'm nothing, God, without you. It doesn't matter if I have a degree or not. It doesn't matter if I'm in the background, oh God. It doesn't matter about what I did and who I was and where I'm not. But I'm everything to you, God. You chose me. My situation wasn't for entertainment. It was to glorify your name. God, you took me from 1-0 to multi-millions, not because of a man. You are the man who created everything in me. The Spirit of the living God, it didn't take a man for me to earn my money. I didn't have to marry into money, ladies. I didn't have to sell none of this to get in anywhere for anything, ladies. What I had to do was fall on my knees and understand my lineage and understand that God had purpose in my pain. And it was a mission that I was on. And every single piece of my life was orchestrated by God for his purpose. See, my father was a drug dealer. Yeah, I got a college degree. Who cares about that? Truth be told, half these college kids ain't even got jobs. Can't even get one. And got more student loans than a little bit. My father was a kingpin. Instead of looking at all of the negative things about being a kingpin, I began to look at the positive. Let me explain something to you. Some of the smartest people we got is in the corner selling drugs. You better know addition, subtraction. You better have good discernment so you can duck and hide. Let me explain something to you. You better know. You better be able to get there and count them bricks and everything else pretty fast. Listen to them numbers. Ain't no calculators and iPhones and smartphones. You ain't got time for that. The cops might be around the corner. So you can take them situations that you've been in. Stop looking at them the way the enemy wants you to look at them. He's trying to put you down. Ruin your self-esteem. Tell you you ain't about nothing and you'll never be about nothing. Try me. I took all of those skills that I learned that should have been for my bad. And God purposed it for my good. So when I sat at the tables with prime ministers of countries, different Fortune 500 presidents, I didn't need no calculators. I could count the product and tell them how much and how quickly they're going to sell it and add my $1 million lace on top fee. Okay? And I would make them money so well that other people would advertise for me. So God made room for my gift. You don't need nobody. See, my rule is I want to be an asset, not a liability. I know when Boaz came, he had everything for me. Come on, girl, that's good. That was her story. My story is this. I'm an asset, not a liability. I want my man to feel like, yep, I don't want to lose her. She's a contributor. This is 1 and 1 equals 2. And we try to flip it to 4. I learned that in the streets too. The fact is, life is going to cause pain.
Yes.
We're never going to get out of that. Ever. I remember in Job 23, I remember him saying, God, I looked for you. Where were you?
Yes.
Where were you? How many have had those where were you times? Where it seems like God is silent.
Yes.
When you're going through pain and heartache.
Yes.
When people have cheated on you. People, so-called friends, got your back so busy backbiting, they don't even know how to have your back. They got your back all right, bit out. You got so-called connections, the wrong ones. Everybody want to be a part of what you're a part of, not because of you, but because of their own secret agenda. And the moment the vote don't explain something to you all. The pain, I promise you, is part of your purpose. I promise you, it's part of your purpose. See, when my mother and father finally, my father was able to become drug-free. Amen. Jesus. My mom had some problems. My father, even after their divorce, out of guilt, would go and look for her in the streets. My mom stayed addicted for quite some time. And glory be to God, today I would love to say she is clean. Thank you. Keep her prayer. I'm still going through some things, working my nerves because, it goes like that sometimes. But my father, he had gotten really sick and ended up dying. And before he died, I had to have a prayer with him. And we talked, about all the little things. One thing about my daddy that I loved was he was very transparent. He didn't hide who he was. And he always was afraid that I would end up with somebody like him. I said, no, honey, you did the right thing. You showed me exactly what I don't want. I told my mother the same thing. She would say over and over and over, how she was sad. And she was sad she wasn't there for me because not only was I a parent to my own parents, my parents had 7 children after me. Some together, some apart. Papa was a Rolling Stone. Add that to his resume. Yeah. But let me explain something to you. All of that became my responsibility. At 17, again, I was in college. At 18, I'd had a baby. Again, I had a bozo before a Boaz. Go ahead. From that situation, raising my father's children, my mother's children, she's still out on the streets. He ends up dying. And the list just keeps coming. And I go to God and go, why me? Why me, God? Why would you choose me? Choice. Chose me. A difference about how you look at things. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. When pain comes your way, thank God. Begin to tell him, thank you, Jesus. That means he's got you on his radar. You're important. I don't know how they say it down here, but where I'm from, important. Use important. You're important. Take that pain, that frustration, those things that you're going through and start twisting how you look at it. When the devil keeps telling you, you ain't going to be about nothing, you ain't going to get nowhere, you ain't never going to make that money, you ain't never going to have that job, that man ain't never going to marry you, and you going to say, and devil, you ain't never going to be right. Just read God's word. Here it says we have the victory. Okay, does anybody here believe that? Do any of y'all really here believe that? Let me explain something to you. See, we know God, but we don't really believe Him. I promise you, we know God, but we really don't believe Him. You know how I know you don't believe? Because the moment you give it